What's going on, guys? Devin here with Paramount Trading, back with another video for you today. Only traded one name, Baba, as you can see here. I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna show you exactly what not to do and still make $300. It's pretty good. So Baba had earnings here, pre-market. Had a high of 283 and a low about 274, 273.70ish or so. 274 is also a key level on the daily here. We have it's come down here, here, resistance came over, and we came down to it with the pre-market here with earnings. So my plan is either play the extremes. I'm going to take a short off this 183. Maybe we come up to it before the market opens. I'm going to play a long off this 274 level. So when the market opened here, I was looking for an area here to take it long. So I saw we had this kind of pivot in here around 175 or so, as well as that's yesterday's close. So I decided to take it into that level. I didn't know if we were going to double bottom or be able to get it back down into this 174 level. So I took my first contracts here. Let me show you right here. Right at 320 or so. So I believe I took 3 contracts right here in this first 5-minute candle. This one right here. And then we spiked up like all the way up to $5. That's about, that's a $2 move right there. So that was really nice profit. I took absolutely nothing because I had the bigger picture in mind that we were going to retest 183 for a double top. I should have been taking something off there. So that's the first mistake. We then came down, shot into this level. So I added another contract. And then we kept going down past this level. And I added again. So that's the second mistake. I'm averaging down into a loser. I had high confidence that this trade is going to work. This is a really strong level here on the daily as well as the pre-market where it came down to after earnings. So people valued this level as a low here after they heard the earnings report. So I really thought this level was going to hold. It was going to be solid. It did end up holding, but the risk I put myself through would have been like 2 times my max loss on the entire day, let alone one trade. So that was too much. It was poor. I should have waited. I should have been more patient for it to come into this level, take my calls for the move back up, and be looking for my exits. But instead, I'm down huge here. So the first pop we get at 9:45 right here into VWAP, I had to start taking something off. I couldn't sit here and watch it go against me again after I just took a horrible entry. So I had to take some off here. I took 3 off. And so then at 9 or at 10:05, once we started coming up again here, I took off one more instead of waiting for this double top here at 178.80, which ended up touching and coming back down. So I did still have my one contract, so I was just holding this. I was up at this point about 195 on the day, and I had an average of 295 on these contracts. So I told myself, I'm going to give it a $100 room. I still think we're either going to hold this level again, retest, or we'll make it up higher into the day. So I held it. If we saw 195 on the contracts, I cut it. That's it. So I was holding it. And then once we started coming up here at 1320, right here is where I sold the last contract. I wanted to sell it. The plan was after all this happened throughout the day, I was going to sell it after we retest this 178.80 level. And I wanted to get in. There's a little resistance here. We finally got above it. And I wanted to get in just a little bit before we got to this level in case we dumped off it. So I sold a little early here. Another mistake, selling early. It ended up coming up to this 180 level. This is from the daily level. I believe it's been actually unable to get over that. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can get over to 183. But, that's my trade for the day. It's disappointing because, I'm up $304 on the trade. So, great. I made money. I made 3-to-1 versus my risk per trade. So that's great. But I broke 3 rules to make that. So that's not something I can replicate. I'm just going to break these 3 rules every single day, and that's how I make my money. That's not how it works. So the $300 is pretty meaningless in the grand scheme of things. I could come back tomorrow, lose all of it again, making the same mistakes, and it's meaningless. So I really need to focus on, I have been very patient with my entries. I don't know if this was such a bad entry per se, but I should have taken maybe one contract just to kind of feel the water out, see if we were going to drop more instead of taking almost pretty much full size right here. So that was my first mistake. Selling early because of the unrealized, not stopping out for 1R, selling early here, not letting it break out. You know, we were in, I don't know, we had some sort of trend. I don't know exactly where it was, but we eventually broke out of it right here, kind of ascending pattern, and sold early. So contracts were at 520. I sold the last one at 405. It's kind of frustrating, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to learn from these mistakes, take my $300 and run. So that's pretty much it for today. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.